Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fullbase channel. Today I will show the new design of the generated frontend, which has undergone a huge total remake, I would say. Last time I had this engineering GUI that I called it, and it was very confusing. I received a lot of questions and opinions about it, so I took the decision to scrap it all together. And the new generated GUI is a standard Bootstrap 5 web application. I've also begun the work to make it possible to customize and style the generated GUI directly from within Fullbase Developer in the Fullbase IDE. My initial thought was actually to let the front-end developers do that totally standalone, but I have reconsidered that thought as well. Today I will also show a new cool feature that I call Quick Search. You get a Google-style text box, automatically generated of course, where you can search for anything. All fields in the query are made searchable. Version 1 of this will be shown today. In the engineering GUI there was also only advanced lookups. But now Fullbase supports also simplified dropdowns, basically a list for smaller datasets. And also I made a rather neat autocomplete component that utilizes the Quick Search API, and version 1 of this will also be shown. I will be using the same demo application as the last video, but I will redo it from scratch. The functionality of Fullbase Developer when it comes to building the data model and the queries and controllers, they are quite intact. So I will do that step a bit quicker today. But as a recap, I will build an application for a library. So we have books, we have authors, we have genres, and we have customers that will lend books. And also just to add an extra level of relation, each author will also have a foreign key to a country table. So let's get going. Okay, so I just created an empty project named library 2. Click this button and everything is copied. You manually need to create a database, but otherwise everything is set up. So here we have skeleton project for the back end and the skeleton project for the front end. So let's start adding the tables. We have book, which has title and year of publication, which is an int. And we have author, last name, and we have genre, which basically just have a name like that. And I'm looking to the right here to speed things up because I have a copy of all the table names. Customer, and that is a person, so he also has a first name, last name, and an address like that. And then we have a many-to-many relation between a customer and a book, so we call that customer book. And in Fullbase you create a foreign key like this. You hit the R for reference. It will be prettier in the future versions. So we have a relation to customer and we have a reference to a book. And then we also, when a customer lends a book, we also have a due date. Like this, I call it date only. So now we hit save here and it should, no we don't, we have relations here as well, a book has a relation to an author, also reference to a genre, just like that. And an author, as I said in the intro, well, in this example also has a reference to a country. So let's add country like that, and we can have just like that name like that, and author, as I said, yeah, a reference to country. I think we're set there. Just checking. Yeah, we're good to go. So let's hit save here and see what happens. So we get a full SQL with all the create tables and foreign keys and everything. So we just execute that. So now that is done. Okay, so let's add a controller, which will also render in a page. So we can start with a very simple one, the genre. We can click LU, which is a wizard for lookup. So there we got that one. Hit save, and now we will start. We will open the projects. Okay, so I just opened the two automatically generated projects. We have the backend project, which is a standard .NET Core project. We get automatically generated code. We get the API here, and we get more code in the background, which we will dig into more in detail. I'll start this in the meantime and jump over to the Svelte single page application. Also here we have generated code for the genre lookup that we were creating. So let's start this too. Come on. Yep. So we got that at localhost. Like that. So here we have the first controller. Very simple, this one, of course. It only has one name, so we can search for genres. We don't have any. We can add. Let's add a thriller to start with. Hit save, and as you can see, it turns this automatically generated ID is incremented, and we can add comedy. So that's the absolute simplest one. Let's continue building more. Alright, so let's continue. Basically we go with book, the lookup wizard. We add a lookup for author, and we add a lookup for customer, and one for country, just like so. So in the book lookup, we want to have see the relations. So we have the author, and we have the genre, and we have the country from where the author comes from. And when we search, we might as well look for that as well. We can take the same piece of information there, and country, like so. When it comes to the author lookup, we don't have anything but country, so we have a relation to that. And a customer lookup has a many-to-many relation to books via this book customer underscore book to book, and country does not have any relations at all. So this is basically the setup that we will use. So hit save here. Okay, so now I just restarted the backend solution, and we get to the automatically generated GUI again. And now we can see that now we have 5 links here, 5 pages. So we have the genre lookup that we had looked at before, the book lookup, author, customer, and the country lookup. And they of course all correspond to what we have added here in the Fullbase developer. So let's start by adding some data. Add a country, Sweden, and Norway. So that's good enough. Then we can go to the author and we can create Atom. And now we get to this quick search that I talked about in the intro. So let's say that we have like a huge table here with lots of data in it. You can just start typing, and it's an autocomplete thing here. So we can type Sweden, and then we can find Sweden, or we can search for Norway, and then we find Norway. We can pick Norway like that and hit save. So if we search now, we see that we have Adam from Norway. But in this case we have a small table for countries, so we don't want to have that advanced searching. So in order for Fullbase to realize that country is a small table, we go back to the developer and we can go down to the author, and then we add a filter query, and then we basically drag in country there, and we create a query on the detail section where we also drag the country. And now when we hit save here, Fullbase will know. We need to restart the backend solution. Let's do that. But now Fullbase will actually know that for the author lookup, let's say we create a new one here. We create a Bartel, and then you can see now we have a drop down here instead. So we can pick Sweden for him and hit save, search, and then we got Norway and Sweden. And the same of course applies here up in the search. We can search for all authors in Sweden, search, and then we find Bertil. We can pick Norway and search, and we find Adam. And then we also have the quick search again. We have it on the search in the filter, so we can actually search for Bertil, and then we find Bertil. We can also search for Sweden, and then we find all authors from Sweden. Okay. So then we move on to we can start creating books now. So we hit add book, and let's go for book A, which is from 1987, and the author is Bertil Bartel. And then we have this quick search autocomplete, and in this case it makes sense to have, because there are so many authors in the world. Genre, here it doesn't make sense, does it? We have a very small list of genres, so let's save this for this guy, but go back here, and for the book lookup we can say that genre is a table that we want to include. We'll go like this. And restart. And now the next time you enter here, at book lookup. So let's start up. So if we want to add another book here, let's say book B from 1788, and the author here is Adam Atom. And now you can see the genre is a drop down instead with the items that we got in the table. So let's pick comedy and save. So now we have one book, two books, book A and book B, Bertil and Adam. And here again we can use the quick search. So we can search for anything here. We can search for Adam, and then we can see that, okay, we find all books that are written by an author named Adam. We can search for Atom, still that guy. We can search for Sweden, and then we see here we have Sweden. So you can basically search for everything here. Okay, and as you can see, there are many fields here and many fields here. We'll get to that, how to organize that. The last table, we got the customer lookup, and let's say we add a new customer, Davy at Big Street 1. And then, as you recall, we had a relation, many-to-many relation between customer and book. So let's say we add a book here. So basically, the only thing you need to do is to pick which book, and we can go for Sweden, search for that, and we say, yeah, it's David now wants to lend book A. So we click that. And when does he want to return this? And we can be nice to him. We can this is a datetime controller component, so it works just like any other. You can hit here which time it is. And this is actually quite nice because it's UTC on the server side and it's local time on the client. So that's a nice feature. So, all right, but as you notice, there are a lot of fields that are not making any sense. But the thing is that all the fields that are included in a query, they are available for search by default. So if we just hit save here and we search for books, we can search for anything. We can search for the author of the book and that guy's first name. So we can search for Adam. And then you find all books by an author which first name is Adam. And then you can also use, you can search for this, for instance, the book and its author and the country where that author is from and the name of that country. Sweden, for instance. So, and this of course doesn't make much sense. However, there are some nice features that will be good to search for. For instance, let's say we want to pick an author, and we get the quick search again, and we can search for one particular author, and let's see all the books that Adam has written. They are listed here. But in order to filter away all of this stuff, we can do that in the Fullbase developer. So first of all, we have the filter section, which is this. Then we have the search section, which is basically the table here with the search items. And then we have the detail section, which is this one, where you can basically edit. So let's pick a simple one too. And you can see also the titles here, they are very engineering. So let's say that we can start with this one, the year of publication in like title case. That's not how our end users want to see it. So let's say we change that to something more user friendly, and we also have a look at this author first name, and we say that this should not be visible here in the filter. Then we go back to the Fullbase developer. I will add zoom a bit. Okay, so then we can go to the now we are on the book. So we go here to the book lookup, and now we can see all of the IDs, that all the titles have an ID here, field detail. So here we can see, oh, now we directly find the book.year of publication, which corresponds to this one. So we want to override this, and what we want to do is to change the title of it to publication year, for instance, and then we hit save. The other one was author first name. We said that we don't want to search for that, it doesn't make any sense. So then you can override, and you can say that let's not include that in the filter. But it's included in the details, it's included in the search, and it's also included in the quick search. So let's hit save here. So if we go back to the book lookup, first of all, you can see that the publication year now it's written in more user-friendly way, and it also appears more user-friendly here in the search table, and also in the detail section. So now we have written our user-friendly text for year of publication. And also we don't no longer have the first name as a separate search field here. We only have the last name, which we haven't deleted yet. So I will pause the video and do some fixing here and get back to you real soon. Okay, so now I spent some minutes on going through all of these options. So I have basically set nicer titles to the fields that I want to show, and I excluded the fields that I don't want to show, basically. So when that is done, basically just hit save and everything is recreated. So let's go to the book lookup, and what I saw fit was that when searching for a book, you can search for the title, for the publication year, author, and genre. So let's say we find all thrillers. We didn't find any comedies. Well, we got one. We can click that, and we can also search for all books that have been written by, let's say, Adam, and search. That's the same effect. And I must also show that in this generic quick search component, we also have this magnifying glass, and if you click that, you get a modal, and then you get a more detailed search. You can still search for an author, but you can do it in a more advanced way than just typing here in the quick search. So let's say we search for last name Bartle, search, and then we got one guy here, Bartle, and then you can click it, and then that author is selected here. So in case you don't find your author using just this, you quick search, you can use the advanced search as well. So let's search for Bertil. So now when we open a book, I saw that the only interesting things here are basically the title, publication year, and the genre, and the author. The same thing as we got here in the filter. And the other ones that you saw is basically, it's pretty cool because we have, let's say that we on the author, let's say we include that in the details. And let's also say that we include the author's first name, and his last name. We include that in details and hit save. Now I know in this particular use case it doesn't make any sense, but I just want to show how flexible the data model in Fullbase is. So let's say we pick book A here, and then we can see we now pick that we wanted to see the author's first name and the author's last name, and now you can actually save this. We can call him Bartel X, and as you can see when we type here, this guy tags along. But let's say we call him Bartel X, and we hit save. So now when we search here, we have renamed this author to Bartel X, and that is due to the recursive data structure of Fullbase. So you can actually change any type of data, and it's actually you who limit it. You limit the data that your end users can save. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you find what you see interesting. And I myself, I really love this Fullbase concept, and I will be working with this for quite some time, I hope. And I'm really excited about the new concept of the GUI, that the front end will be more end user oriented. I think it will be really nice. So I'm really glad I took that route. So like and subscribe, and if there are any questions, please contact me at christian@fullbase.dev. Alright, until next time, bye bye.